evening. Hope we got some people who can join. Alrighty, so let's put this cash app on here, okay, and the Amazon wish list. I will add it to YouTube at the end since I can't find a way to comment on there. Okay, and I do have my subscribe comment that's pinned. So that means the comments will work, and I'm going to go ahead and pin the Cash App. Okay, there we go. So we're having Sloppy Joe macaroni. Now, if you've been with me long enough, you've probably seen me make this. So this might be for some of the people who have not been with me that long, and even if you have, it's been a long time. Okay? So I'm going to give you some of the ingredients. I'm going to do the best I can because it's not listed. It's in a video. So it's going to be 2 pounds of ground beef. Okay, 2 pounds. All right. And it's going to be some onion. I think she said garlic. I'm going to put some garlic in there anyways. Okay, it's going to be from the jar. And when I put brown sugar in, I'm going to put dark brown sugar. It's dark brown sugar. If you only have light, you can use light brown sugar. It's okay. A can of beef broth. It's going to be a cup. 1 cup. And this is 1 cup and 3/4. I've always measured it. Okay? If you've seen, I've told you that. It's 1 3/4 cups. Can of tomato sauce. Okay? It's going to be some red wine vinegar. Okay? Or any other kind of vinegar you have. Worcestershire sauce. Okay? And elbow macaroni. Okay? This is 2 pounds, but I'm not using this. My son put it. I'm going to use what's in here. I already measured. 1 pound is 8 servings, and that's 4 cups. So if you have it in something like this, it's 4 cups for 1 pound. But I'm going to pour this whole thing in there because I already did the measurements, and there was only less than half a cup left in here. So I'll use this whole thing, and then I'm just going to pour this into here. Okay? And as I watched the video, and she says the measurement to the stuff I just named, I will let you know. So if you want to write the ingredients down and then beside it you can write but I know this is 1 cup. Okay, 1 cup. And the tomato sauce will be a full cup. Now a full can. If you don't have a 15-ounce can, you can use 2 small cans. That will be, it'll be 16 ounces because 2 small cans are 8 ounces. But that's okay. Just 1 ounce over. It's okay. So, okay. But when it comes to the Worcestershire sauce, the red wine vinegar, and the brown sugar, I'll let you know how much that is. Okay. And I'll let you know if there's anything else we're going to need. Now, we are going to need cheese, but I'll pull that out at the end because I don't want it to just sit on the counter. And I said garlic, so you can use fresh garlic or garlic, okay? And when I let you know how much garlic and onion to use, you can substitute it. I mean, not substitute it, but you can use fresh onion or chopped up frozen onion, or they have fresh chopped up onion in the produce section. Okay, or you can use, I'm just pounding this a little, or you can use, I've got some minced onion. It's like dry freeze. It's back here. Okay, let me see it. I just want to show you some options. This minced onion, see? Okay, you can use that. And if you really don't have any of this, just go ahead and use some onion powder. That's fine. Same with the garlic powder. Okay? But I'll give you the measurements as we go along. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and play the video and we're going to see. We're going to start with the ground beef, I know. 1 casserole. Ground beef with some olive oil. Now I'm going to add the rest of my starting line. Sloppy Joe macaroni in 1 casserole. Ground beef and some olive oil. Now I'm going to add the rest of my starting line. 1 onion, red bell pepper, garlic, some salt and pepper, water coming up. Okay. So she's going to use 1 onion and 1 red bell pepper. I forgot to tell you that. 1 red bell pepper. Okay? Now, it don't have to be red. It could be orange, yellow. I don't like green. And green just, color doesn't look too well in here. But if you want to use it, that's up to you. Okay? I just chopped these up earlier. And I chopped up 1 red, 1 orange, and 1 yellow. So I'm just going to put a handful in there. And it'll have a mixtures of colors. I'm not exactly sure what's going to equal 1 because there's 3 in there. So, okay? So let's see. Boil for elbow pasta. Some pepper, water coming up to a boil for. Hold on. Now I'm going to add the rest of my starting line. 1 onion, red bell pepper, garlic, some salt and pepper, water. And it said garlic, salt, and pepper. Okay, so and then she talks about getting the water ready for to boil the macaroni, elbow macaroni. Now I'm guessing if you'd like, you can use another pasta, but this one just seems right with the elbow macaroni. But that's up to you, especially if you don't have it. I'm using hot water because it boils faster. I was gonna double it, not double it, but half of a double. Like I'm doing 1 pound of macaroni, so doubling would be 2 pounds, but I do half of that, so it would be 1.5. But that would mean 3 pounds of ground beef. You know, double would be 4, but half of that would be 1, and I don't have it. Don't have a 1/3 pound of ground beef. So, all right. Oh, oh. So when she said um, 1 onion, she did not say medium, large, or small. So when you talk about the onion and the garlic, I would just go with whatever you want, whatever you like. The more, better. The less, if it's good for you, whatever. Okay? Okay, let me wash my hands. Even if you touch the packaging of the meat, wash your hands. Okay? Wash them hands. Okay? Wash them hands. Okay? Turn this on medium high. If this light start blinking like crazy, don't worry about it. It always does. Okay? So say hi if you come on. Say hi. Comment hashtag replay if you're watching the replay. Let me know in the comments how your day is going. What do you plan for dinner tonight? Let me know. Okay? Going to keep checking. Okay. Nobody yet. All right. So we're going to get, well, let me think. Hold on. The ground beef is totally thawed out. So I don't want to use a smasher tonight. It's easy to break up. Sometimes I will if I need to, but especially if it's in a roll. Okay? So let's get that all smashed up. See, it looks like two different colors because one was like I think 93.7 and one was lower. And you know, it looks like a deeper, darker kind of reddish if it's less fat. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and put the onions in. Okay. I had some onions still in the refrigerator. I couldn't tell if they were good or bad, but they didn't look as white as they did, so I thought they were bad. So I dumped them out. All right, let's just put some, whoops. Okay. And then I got to get in a minute, I'll get a small clip to close that. Did I spill? Oh, an onion went in here. Okay. Just breaking them up. They'll get all. Okay. All right, so 1 teaspoon of garlic from the jar, garlic, is 1 clove of fresh garlic, okay? Okay, so we're just going to do 1 big teaspoon. That's about it. That's all I need. Or just a little bit more. Okay. Okay. And then we're going to get the bell peppers. I'm just going to put some handfuls because I don't know exactly what's one because I already mixed all three together. So just put what you like. If you're only going to cut up one, then you would know what's one, okay? All right, that's good enough. And I'm going to freeze the rest of these. I just had them in the refrigerator until I used them tonight because they hadn't been in the freezer yet. So, yes, let's get them in there. All righty. So, we're going to stir this up. And I'm going to turn the water on for the noodles. That would help. Okay, so I got it turned on. Stir all this garlic, onion, and bell peppers into the meat. All right, and then it said some salt and pepper. Just to your liking, whatever you want. This one is messed up. I have to keep kind of shaking it and tapping it to get it to work. Now, we had recently put new batteries in it, so it's not the battery. Okay? Because you'll see it stops. Okay? And some pepper. And this recipe is made by Rachel Ray. She dices up some pickles and adds it to hers, but not here. I never have. See, if I keep it like that, pepper will keep going. All right, so that's good. All right. And this recipe is on Facebook Cooks, my group. So if you're not joined there, you can look up Facebook, spell it out, Cooks with an S, and you'll see it. It should be near the top because I commented on it about it being dinner tonight, so it should be at the top. And you'll see previous comments and pictures of what it looked like before when I made it. I usually put it in a casserole dish, and you're gonna top it with cheese, and then put it in the oven. But I figured since it's in this pan, I can just put cheese on top and put it in the oven, because this is oven proof. I think up to 450 or something like that. Okay, so we're gonna let this cook. All right, let's see what's next.
To boil for elbow pasta. Salt the pasta water as well, please. With a can of tomato sauce. Then I throw in a couple tablespoons of vinegar. You can use red wine, cider, whatever you have in the pantry. A couple of tablespoons.
All right, so the tomato sauce, Worcestershire sauce, red wine vinegar, brown sugar, and stuff is gonna go in a separate bowl. We're gonna mix it all together, and then we will pour it into the I think that's enough. I don't know. But I'm gonna leave this out to drain the pasta. This is too big. I'm trying to make sure I don't want to use a. No, I think that bowl's good enough. All right. All righty. Okay, so let's get this pushed over. Let's go back a little bit.
A couple tablespoons of brown sugar. With a can of tomato sauce. Then I throw in a couple tablespoons of vinegar. You can use red wine, cider.
Okay. Can of tomato sauce, and then she said a couple of tablespoons of red wine vinegar, cider vinegar, white vinegar, whatever, okay? I'll go back and look to make sure what she said. But 1 can of tomato sauce, the 15-ounce one. And if you only have 2 small cans, which will make 16 ounces, that's quite all right. No biggie. Okay? Okay? Let me make sure what she said on.
Whatever you have in the pantry. A cup of butter as well, please. With a can of tomato sauce. Then I throw in a couple tablespoons of vinegar. You can use red wine, cider, whatever you have in the pantry.
Red wine, cider.
Worcestershire.
A couple tablespoons of red wine vinegar, Worcestershire, cider vinegar, white vinegar, whatever you have. So a couple of tablespoons. She didn't measure. So we are going to think that should be good enough. I didn't measure either. I used to, but all right, that should be about 1, 2, just couple to a few, whatever, 2 to 3. 2 to 3 tablespoons, all right. Now,
tablespoons of brown sugar, lots of coarse black pepper. Get there as well, please. With a can of tomato sauce. Then I throw in a couple tablespoons of vinegar. You can use red wine, cider, whatever you have in the pantry. A couple of tablespoons of Worcestershire. A couple tablespoons of brown sugar, lots of coarse black.
all right, couple tablespoons of brown sugar. I forgot to pull that out. No, I didn't. I was thinking the container, but I forgot I have it in here. Somewhere I thought I saw it had to be dark black brown sugar, but I guess it don't matter. She said a couple of tablespoons. I'm figuring. Here's a tablespoon. And here's a tablespoon. So, couple of tablespoons of brown sugar, white red wine vinegar or cider, whatever cider vinegar. Worcestershire sauce, couple of tablespoons to a few tablespoons of each. A whole can of tomato sauce. Okay, that's what you got. Okay, and a lot of black coarse pepper, she said. So let's go with this so I can pour it better. When she said a bunch, you see the video, you'll see she put a bunch in there. Okay.
Hold on. Hey, I'll be back in a little bit. Yeah, I'll be back in a little bit.
Where are you going?
I'm gonna go home. We're gonna go shop somewhere, and then we're gonna come back.
Okay.
Alvin said he'd move my clothes over for me.
Alvin said what?
He'd move my clothes over for me.
Oh, okay. Alrighty. So, all right.
Give that all a stir. Now that's my basic.
All right, this will be your basic sauce. So we're gonna give it a stir, and I'm just gonna give it a stir with a whisk. Get it all mixed up. Get that black pepper and all the stuff mixed up into the tomato sauce. So once again, it's the tomato sauce, a full can, 15 ounce, or two 8-ounce cans. 2 to 3 tablespoons of red wine vinegar or cider vinegar, white vinegar, Worcestershire sauce, and 2 to 3 tablespoons of brown sugar. Okay, that's it. Get that all nice and mixed up, and a good handful or a good shake of some black pepper. Not just a tiny bit. Get that black pepper in there. Oh, it smells amazing. Hold on, guys. I can't help it every time. I can't. It just smells so good. Does that smell good? It's just tomato sauce, red wine vinegar, and a Worcestershire sauce, and some brown sugar and black pepper. That's it. See, I can't help it. I smell this every time, and I'm always having everybody smell it. It's so good. Now, we're still going to put in the beef broth, but it's going to go into the pan itself, not into this, okay? Alrighty, so got that. All right, let's see. Still cooking this up. Got some, still a little red, so it's almost done though, but let's get this. Get this all good and nice. Okay, but let's see what's next.
Sloppy Joe sauce. So to my base sauce, I'm going to add 1 cup of beef stock.
Okay, so once this is done and drained, I'm guessing you drain it. Let me see, did she say anything about draining it?
Simmer until the veggies. You can use red wine, cider, whatever you have in the pantry. A couple of tablespoons of Worcestershire. A couple of tablespoons of brown sugar. Lots of coarse black pepper. Give that all a stir. Now that's my basic sloppy Joe sauce. So to my base sauce, I'm going to add 1 cup of beef stock. Now I'm just going to let this simmer until the veggies finish cooking through and it thickens up just a little bit. Then I can.
Okay, so she says we're going to add this to the ground beef, okay, and 1 cup of beef broth. She said beef stock, but it don't matter. And that can holds 1 3/4. So if you're adding more or doubling it or half of a double, you can just put the whole can. Or if you want to put the whole can, I don't think it'll hurt it, but or if you save just 3/4 of it. But it has to be like a cup or more before I'll save it. But but she didn't say anything about straining it. But if you've got like low meat, like you buy 73.27, because that's what you can afford, I would strain it almost all the way. All right, so it's boiling. Salt your boiling water, salt it, okay? And I'm going to put a little bit of oil. Now I use vegetable oil for this, for my water. She didn't say anything about that, but I like to because it helps the pasta not stick together as much, okay? So, like I said, I'm going to put this whole container, okay? It's 1 pound, plus it had like maybe a fourth of a cup left. So I'm just going to add the whole entire thing. Because sometimes I add more, but then I'd have to add more stuff to this, which the onions, the bell peppers, the garlic, and everything else into the sauce too is not a problem. It's just I don't have the extra ground beef if I wanted to. Okay, so that's all of it's done there. So we're gonna stir it. That should be enough. I don't know if it's gonna be in. I might put a little bit more. Hold on. Yes, I'm just gonna add a little bit more. Half of the 4 cups would be 2 cups. So yes. All right, sorry guys. I was using a half a cup, so that's why it seemed like I was putting more. Okay, so let's stir this up. Okay, so it says 9 to 11 minutes. We'll go with 9. That's al dente, I think, and then 1 extra minute softer. But 9 to 11, and I'll check the pasta and see how it's going. Okay. So if I want to do double that, I might want to double the sauce because it has extra. So to do that, once I put the sauce in here, I'm just gonna go ahead and put the whole can of brown sugar, because I mean beef broth, because if I double it, not double it, half of a double. So beef broth is 1 cup, so doubling would be 2 cups, but half of that would be half a cup, so it would be 1.5 cups. And the can is 1 3/4. So I'm just gonna pour the whole can in. And I'm gonna add, to double that sauce, I'm gonna go ahead and add half a can of tomato sauce. Okay? So you're going to add half a can of tomato sauce. Okay, so if you want to do half of a double, then it would only be half a can. But if you want to do total double, then it would be 2 15 ounces or 4 8-ounce cans. Okay? All right, so that means, what did I do with the brown sugar? I put like two tablespoons, 2 tablespoons, yes. So I'm only going to put one, like that, okay. Now I'm taking a gesture at what a tablespoon is with my hand. One of these days I will use my hand and measure it on a tablespoon to see what it is. I will, okay. So that means I may just add a little bit more to this, just a tiny bit, not much, okay. And what else did I add? Oh, so we'll just add just a little more, okay. Maybe if you did if you did 3 tablespoons, then you just add about a tablespoon and a half more. But if you only did 2 tablespoons, then maybe add just one more, okay? So we're going to use the same thing, stir it up. So basically this is just tomato sauce, red wine vinegar, or cider vinegar, like apple cider or white vinegar, and then Worcestershire sauce. 2 to 3 tablespoons of brown sugar, red wine vinegar, or apple cider or white, and then just double it if you're doubling it. If you do 2 tablespoons, do 4. If you did 3, do 6. But if you want to do half of a double, then if you did 2 tablespoons, only do one more. Or if you did 3 tablespoons, do 1.5, as you see. So you could add like half of a box of macaroni. So 1 full box of macaroni, if you have it in a container and you're not sure, is 1 pound is 4 cups. So if you're going to do half of a double, then you would just want to add 2 more cups. Okay, 2 more cups. Okay, half of a double, you'd want to do about 3 pounds of ground beef. If you're going to double it, do 4. But I didn't have a third pound, but that should be okay. Okay, so 5 more minutes on the macaroni. Okay, so as far as this ground beef, I am not going to drain it because there's barely any in there. Okay, there's not enough that's going to interfere. So what we're going to do, hold on. Okay, so we're going to add this in now that the meat is done. But if you have a lot of grease or, on the ground beef, you want to drain most of it. Okay, if you have a lot. Okay? Or soak it up with paper towels like people have been doing now. That's become a thing. Okay? Or strain it into something else until it cools because you really don't want to put a lot of it down your drain. I shouldn't, but I used to, but I would rinse it down with totally hot water. So, or you can get a pan and boil some water before you're ready to drain, and then just once you drain it, dump that boiling water down there to break it up. You can do that, okay? But you're going to want more water than you have grease, okay? All right, so there we go. We mix this up, okay? Don't worry if it looks like too much or too liquidy because you still got to get the pasta in here, okay? And then we want a cup of beef broth or beef stock. But I'm going to put the whole can because I did extra pasta and I did the extra sauce, with the brown sugar and tomato sauce and stuff. So like If you're gonna do double, you would do 2 cups, and this is 1 3/4. I think the 1 3/4 would be plenty. If you're short a fourth, that's okay. Or you can open a second can, or you can use out of the 32-ounce box and just save the rest. But if you're gonna do half of a double, then you would be 1 1/2 cups. But if you're gonna do a can 1 3/4, you might as well just put the whole thing. There'll be a little extra fourth, but it's okay. It looks like soup, but it's going to get soaked up by the pasta. Okay? So you can turn this down to like medium instead of keeping it on medium high once the ground beef is cooked. Just stir this every so often and let it continue cooking until all the vegetables are cooked and soft. Like, garlic, onion, and the bell peppers. Okay? Just let it go. Okay? Now, my water might turn a little red from the sauce because I'm stirring with the same spoon, but it's okay. It's got less than a minute, and the noodles are sticking a little bit, but if you see they're sticking, just grab your spoon and scrape it, okay, while it's in the water. Okay? Because there was one time I was making something, I can't remember what it was, and I was like, damn, that's a lot of liquid, way too much. But once I added, I think it was pasta or something else I had to add in there, and it soaked it up and it wasn't bad. So, okay. So, it says 9 to 11, been 9 minutes, so let's take a taste. See? Okay. It could get a little bit softer. So, I'm just going to put it on 2 minutes because it's 9 to 11, and I'm going to check it like at a minute and a half or a minute. Okay? Now, let's see. Anybody on here? No? Anybody come on my Facebook? Nope, not yet. Alrighty. So, now, if you would like to make a vegetable with this, you surely can. But you've got the tomato sauce. You've got the bell peppers and stuff, so. Alright, let's see. Let's get down a little.
And it thickens up just a little bit. Then I combine it with my cooked pasta. Give it a stir. Yeah. Guys, I'm just grating up 1 8-ounce brick of super sharp cheddar. Top it with your cheddar cheese. Then just uncover it and bake it on 400 until it's brown and bubbly on top and hot through. Oh, looking good.
Wait, what's the hell, man?
Top it with your cheddar cheese. And just uncover it and bake on 400 until it's brown and bubbly on top and hot through. Oh,
okay. So she said to go ahead and bake it on 400. Okay? Until the cheese is melted and nice and brown on top. Now, My suggestion, because I've made this a lot of times, but I still don't have everything totally memorized. My brain ain't that good. But turn that off. Let's bring this forward. Um, After 10 minutes, I would check it. Only because if it's in there too long, it could get dried up. I know because I think I put it in there for 15 or 20 minutes before, and it was kind of, oh, a little dry. So we don't want to do that. But you can keep it in there until it's pouring the rest from this box into here. It's just going to be, I only did 2 cups, which is half a pound. 4 cups is 1 pound. 2 cups is half a pound. So there's about 1.5 pounds left in there. Okay? 1.5 pounds. And I got to remember it's from 9 to 11 minutes. Okay. But anyways, yeah. If you want to do it for 10 minutes and then turn on your broil and let it just be there for 1 or 2 minutes, that's it. To brown the top of the cheese, you can. But if you don't care if your cheese is browned, then 10 minutes should do it. Okay? Now, what she's going to do is she puts chopped pickles on hers. She takes pickles and chop them up. I have pickles, whole pickles, that I can cut in half and then chop up. I tried that once, just one time, and I chose not to do it again because I didn't feel like it. Because I didn't really like it. I mean, I'd never done it while I was cooking it. Then this one time I decided to. I mean, I don't think I put it on the whole thing. I just put it on my bowl and my husband's bowl, I think, or something. All right, so let's drain this. It doesn't look like much liquid there because it boiled away, but okay. Trying to get anything that's stuck to the bottom. And as soon as this is mixed in with the other stuff, hot water will be soaking this, so if any little pieces of pasta got stuck on the bottom, it can start. Okay? There wasn't much to drain, but let's go. All right, let's be very careful about that. It's full, so go slow. Don't just do a quick turn like that. I only did that to show you. Plus, it was near the end, so there wasn't much. But don't do that, especially if you put as much pasta, 1.5 pounds. That's a lot of pasta. 1.5 pounds is a lot. That's only 1.5 of a 1 pound box. I wouldn't think that's a lot, but I guess it is. Now, we are going to turn this off. It should be done. It's boiling. Didn't really need it to boil, but just wanted to make sure all the vegetables are soft. Now, you can pour the pasta into here, into this pan, or you can pour it into this pan but I'm going to put it in the oven so the cheese will melt. So we're going to pour it into this pan. This pan is big enough it holds 2 boxes of spaghetti with 2 pounds of ground beef, which I might start adding like half a pound to a pound more because it needs more ground beef. But it holds all that in there. That's a big pan. Okay, that's why I bought it. because it could fit 2 boxes if you're doing 2 boxes of, hamburger helper, tuna helper, whatever, okay? But I have a recipe to make homemade hamburger helper, which I can do that. Okay. Oh, it's fogging my glass up. We're only going to do a little bit at a time because there's a lot of pasta. Okay. And then I'm going to put the cheese on top, and then we will put it in the oven for a melt for about 10 minutes. And then you can turn it on broil if you like to brown the top. But no more than a minute or two, so don't walk away. Now, if I left it just like that, we'd be having like a soup. Okay, and then the rest of it. Now, if you're only doing 1 pound, then you could probably pour it in all at once. But I just want to be careful. I might have poured it in here, but I didn't want to have to pour it into a casserole dish when this pan can go in the oven. So if you have a big pan that can fit all this and it can go in the oven, so be it. Why transfer something that's all mixed together into a casserole dish just to put cheese on top to melt it when you can use a pan that you cooked it in? Or, I'm guessing it never said this, but I saw another recipe I did that said you can put a lid on it and let it set or put it in the oven because it's so hot, cheese is gonna melt. Or you can turn it on low and let the cheese melt. Now, I'm gathering you can do that with this too. Now, if I left it like this, it's still a little extra liquidy, but not as much. Okay? So let's get the rest of the pasta. Okay. See? Got it. Let's put it in the back. Okay. Wow. Yeah, we are going to have leftovers. Now, I am kind of glad I put that extra can of tomato sauce and brown sugar and all that good stuff in here. But if you're going to do this, which is not doubled, it's half of a double. So it's like, that would be, if you were going to do 1.5, like, that would be 3 pounds of ground beef, 1.5 cans of tomato sauce, and the 2 to 3 tablespoons of brown sugar, Worcestershire sauce, and red wine vinegar. Just if you put 2, do half of that. If you put 3, do half of that. Like 1 tablespoon more or 1.5 more, depending if you do 2 or 3. Okay? And beef broth, 1.5 cups. But if you're doing a can, you can just put 1 3/4. Just put the whole thing. It's okay. And if you're doubling it and you need 2 cups, you can either use a 32 ounce and do half the box, because 32-ounce box of beef broth is 4 cups. Or you can just do the 1 3/4 can. It'll be okay, short one. I'm just trying not to. You don't want to stir this fast and go crazy like, because really I only put 2 more cups of pasta, which is half a pound. So it's not doubled. I didn't double this. It looks like I did, but like I usually, when I make spaghetti, I put 2 pounds of spaghetti noodles. 2 pounds of ground beef, which I should put 3 because there's more noodles than ground beef, but I keep forgetting to do that. And it's so much, it lasts us for days. It lasts me and my husband for days. Even with my son here, it still lasts days. Well, the last time we made it, last week I think it was, or whatever it was, um, my daughter had a bowl. She was over here. She got one of our black containers and she filled it up. It's not real deep, but she filled it up to take some home. And there was probably enough spaghetti to have the next day for one or two people. And my husband took some to work that night. So that's all there was. There wasn't a few days of nothing. So that went fast. So, yes. And next time, if I do it this much, I'm going to add a little bit more um, bell peppers, maybe a little bit more onions. Yes, and I'm going to add the third pound of ground beef. Okay, so there we go. That's, let me see. Amazing. Oh, that's good. And I'll try it again, but let's get the cheese on here. Okay? She used sharp cheddar cheese. That's what she used. And she grated it. I don't grate my cheese often. I was trying to make sure I didn't have any cheese that was open. I have a little bit of mozzarella and Mexican cheese open, but it's not what I'm using. I like cheddar cheese, and maybe, yes, it is better on here, but I've becoming more of a fan of Colby Jack and Monterey. Colby and Monterey Jack. Or you can just get Colby Jack cheese, but it still has some Monterey in it. So, or you can use shredded cheddar. Actually, which next time I think I'm gonna use cheddar in here. But there's no measurement, just sprinkle it around until you cover the top. Okay? Until you cover the top. And you can put as much as you want. You can make it a thick layer, a thin layer. Or actually, if you want to eat it just like it is without any cheese on top, that'll work. Like if somebody else wants cheese on theirs, they can sprinkle some in their bowl. And if they want it to be like melted, they can stick it in the microwave for like 30 seconds or whatever, just to melt the cheese. Okay? Just saying. I forgot to show you what this looked like before I put the cheese on it. It almost reminded you of a hamburger helper, but it had that sloppy Joe sauce in it. Plus it had the bell peppers. But I'll show you. If you want some cheese through the middle and you're deciding to dump it into a casserole dish because you'd rather do that, or your pan is just not oven safe and you want cheese all through the layers, you can dump part of it, sprinkle some cheese, dump some more, sprinkle some cheese, dump some more, depending how much you have, however many layers, and dump cheese over it, each layer. You can do that. Or if you're going to do it this way, where I'm not moving it, I'm just putting cheese on top. Later on, if you have leftovers, you can just add some cheese on top of your bowl and put it in the microwave or however you reheat it. You can just add some more cheese if the whole top has been served out. or if the whole top has been served out and there's still more people eating it that night or you want seconds, then you can add some more cheese on top. Like if all the cheese from the top is gone. Okay? Now it said 400. You can do 350 if you want. It might take a little longer, but whatever. But she said 400. So I'm going to put it in and make sure if you have a big pan like this, hold it with two hands and get oven mitt for both sides. Because this pan is a kind of a heavy pan to begin with. Add all that food in, it's heavy. Okay? So we are going with 10 minutes. And remember, you can turn on, broil if you want for a minute or two at the end if you want to have some brown cheese. But for us, I guess it's just good enough. Just melted. I do like my cheese browned, but yeah, definitely if you leave it in there too long, it will kind of get dried out. So you want to be careful with that. Okay? I'm just putting the cold stuff away. I don't like leaving the cold stuff out. All right, that's about it. Oh, my onions. All right, let me go get a small clip, guys. Okay, guys. Got my small clip. Let's fold this over. Just get a small clip. Close it up. Or you can dump it into a Ziploc bag if you like. I just thought of that. I never thought of that. But you can do that. Okay. We got 9 minutes left. Only 1 minute, 8 minutes now. Okay. All right. Let me wipe some of this cheese off. Just trying to clean up some of the. Yeah, I need to do a good clean on this stove. It had some spots on it. I think from last night or earlier today, whatever my son said, he cooked some macaroni or something. So, yeah, it's still smeary. So I'll get it after dinner. Because sometimes I don't do it every single time. Sometimes I just get you know, my hot, make it hot and then wipe it down. But there's times when the sponge, I got soap on it, it's all soapy, and I soap it all around, even back up here where the buttons are and the knobs are, and then I rinse it down with the rag. Yeah, that's my big clean. I just want to make sure I don't like leaving crumbs or anything or spots because I don't want bugs. You know? You know how it is. Don't want bugs. We don't need bugs. That's the thing. Has anybody had bugs like roaches, I'll say? I'm not talking bed bugs now. Or other bugs and they've done everything to keep their house clean. They wipe they wipe down after every meal. I mean, after every time they cook in the kitchen, they wipe down the counters. They wipe down. They clean their sink after doing major dishes with soap and water or bleach, whatever you wipe down every counter. You clean your stove really well, and you even wipe around the metal parts of the sink to wipe down anything that got on there or excess water because they are attracted to water. And right here by the knobs, wipe there and get any little stuff off and wipe the handles, the spigot, everything. Lift up your soap, wipe. That's me. Yes, sirree. And sometimes I even wipe in the sink, inside the sink, and gets off inside my sink, and it gets off excess water. So you do all that, and you still get bugs. It's annoying, but I'll blame that on. Sometimes it could be coming from neighbors. You never know. So we got 4 minutes. 4 minutes to go. Let's check it out. Ooh, it's melting. Smells so good. And if you would like, and it's up to you, it doesn't say it in the recipe, but you can practically do this on any recipe you want. Um, if you want to sprinkle some parsley on top, as you know, a garnish, you may do so. Or any other herb you can sprinkle on there, fresh or from the jar, just sprinkle some on there. You can do whatever you want. And you don't have to do it at all, which I'm not going to this time, but sometimes I do. But parsley's my favorite to kind of sprinkle up on there. Yeah. But it's almost done. That is great. Got about 2 minutes. Well, still says 3, but it's about to hit 2. When it gets to 1 minute, under 1 minute, you'll hear a beep. It's just a one beep, not a beep, 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 like when it's done. It's just a one beep that'll let you know that there's a minute left, a minute or less left. So now it's 2 minutes. So once it hits the 1 minute, it will beep once. Yes. So quiet in here. My dogs must be not making trouble. Nope. One of my dogs is outside on the porch, well, on the balcony, whatever you want to call it, because my son's out there doing something. And my older dog is just laying on the dog bed that's over there, just laying there chilling, staring outside, but didn't go. Usually both of them come running when that back door opens. Oh, my husband's out there, not. All right, that was the beep. Now it's less than a minute. So let me get my, let me put my brown sugar away. Now, like I said, I swear I saw in her video or somewhere that it was best to use brown sugar, not best to, but just to use it. That's what I thought. That's why I always have brown sugar for that. But I didn't notice that today, and it's the same recipe that I always find in my videos. And if you can't find it by looking up Sloppy Joe macaroni, just look up Rachel Ray. She's one of the Rachel Ray, and you should find it. There we go. Okay, you should find it with Rachel Ray. So let's have 2 oven mitts. So you can grab the handle and the other part. Now, if your pan does not have the other part, I would make sure somebody's strong or put your hand underneath. Ooh, whoa, that is heavy. And it did brown, to 10 minutes did brown the cheese up. All right, so it's good to go. If you want to make a vegetable, you can, but it's got the bell peppers. If you want to make some garlic bread, just use some buttered toast, whatever, a salad, whatever to go with this, you may. If not, you can just eat just this. Okay? Very hot. I'm going to go ahead, take a picture of it. So YouTube, just hold on. This is what it looks like, YouTube. Sorry. I'm fixing my hair in a ponytail. See? But the edges and all around it keeps wanting to flare out. I don't know why. I can't keep it down. Not unless I slicked it down, but I don't like it slicked down with grease. But there you go, YouTube. See? That looks delicious. Mmm. Okay? Now, Facebook, let's show you. There we go. See that? That is so good looking. If I saw that through a video, I'd be like, oh my gosh, I wish I had some of that. That looks so good. Okay? So, all right, oh my goodness. Hold on. Sorry, you, Facebook, I mean. Let me make sure nobody came on. Nobody did. I thought somebody might because it was 5:30 I started. Okay? But I'm going to go ahead, give this a taste with the cheese, and then end this video. Okay? Ooh, I forgot this rag is wet and I leaned against it. Alrighty, so let's take a bite of this with the cheese. It's even hotter now. Mmm, that is so delicious. That is so delicious. 2 thumbs up. Do, 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 do. My happy dance. All right. So now I'm going to end this live the way I end all lives. I appreciate you guys coming on, whoever came on. I appreciate anybody who will come on later and watch the replay. Just comment #replay. Let me know how you guys are doing, what you had for dinner tonight. All right. And if you ever have any suggestions on any desserts, main meals, or anything you'd like me to make, you can always comment it on my video. Or send me a message on Facebook Messenger or on the YouTube video, whatever you want, okay? But I want y'all to stay positive, keep working on your goals, keep working on yourself. And if you don't have goals, just continue to work on yourself. You're worth more than you will ever know. I'm always here for you guys. Just send me a message. All right, and God's here for you 24/7, anywhere, any place, anytime. All right, and I love you guys, and I want you guys to have a good rest of your evening. And we've made it halfway through the week, so tomorrow will be Thursday. Woohoo! Getting there to Friday. Feels like the weekend just ended, and we're about to get to it again. Yeah. But I love you guys, and I will talk to you guys later. This may be the only time I'm coming live this week. Usually it's Monday and Fridays, but I'm trying to catch up on some things and pay off the 4 payments I used to pay for this food, and just it's getting a little rough. So every once in a while, I just have to skip my cooking lives for 2 weeks between pay periods sometimes. But I was able to go one time, and if I can find something where I have most of the ingredients, I'll try to go one time next week, but I'll let y'all know. All right? Love you guys. Have a good evening, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye, Facebook. Bye, YouTube. Hi, Angela. How are you doing?